Jed. Why not? Switch accounts. There we go. Should try this today. Okie dokie. My Chanel. Oh, and we already have a watcher. That's exciting. Are you a real person, watcher? If you are, say hello. Let's move it, please. Boom, bam. Do, 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 boom. Still getting set up, sorry. Okay. Goodness me, that doesn't look pretty, does it? Oh, hey man. Nice to see you again. Sorry you can't hang around. But no problem. Hopefully catch you another time. Dude, that paint's not looking healthy. Dude, oh actually, whilst I'm doing setup. So can I just... Yes, I can. Oh, that's awesome. Boo, boo. Okay, we are painting green. Come on. We've sealed up. There we go. And yellow. Oopsie. Oh God, I should not say that. My properties. Let's go. Hello to watchers. Say hello in the chat if you're a human. I don't know why I think there's going to be bots. I had a couple of bots on some streams, but it's just nice to say hello if you're watching. And then we can talk. And that's cool. Need some white. Blue. Forgive you. Oh shit! I'll forgive you, Kimera Colors, because you otherwise feel good. Hello, 3 new watchers. Say hello in the chat if you're into that kind of thing. Today is super chilled. If you want to talk, let's talk. See what's going on here? Probably not. Should make it a bit darker yet. Doesn't look like much over the camera, I'm not gonna lie. Never mind. watcher. Feel free to say hello. Hello, second watcher. Feel free to say hello. Oh, look at that. That's great. There we go. Look at my human eyes. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Alright, we want to try some different ideas on this as well. Got the green. We know that we like the green. We discovered this yesterday. As you can see from the big old pile of green there. What we're going to discover now is how we feel about some warmish, off-white grey dots. Yeah, the Artist Opus. Artist Color. What are they called? This stuff? Whatever this stuff is called. And I think we want some of this pearl grey. We're just going to start with that. Let's slap it on filthy style. See what we think of its appearance. Take it from there. It's a nice high quality paint. Oh, look at that. It's so creamy. So creamy. Feel free if I'm not loud enough or the music is too loud. If you want to say hello, say hello. Tell me about the projects you're working on. You can see what I'm working on. Tell me if you're excited or terrified by that new towel railgun. Right, let me have a look. What have we got? So what I'm thinking for this grey is all the little nubbins. I'm a bit worried this is going to look rubbish. But the idea is, all the nubbins that are not gems get a little grey. I don't know what I'm using, so I've got medium right there. Okay, let's see. Let's start with this broken one. Yeah, that's not gonna. I'll start that one next to it. The idea here is, I'm gonna want some dark grey as well, aren't I? See already. This was really dark. I do want to go into blue, look at that. That is super dark. Let's try it. That was weird. It's not so bad painting with this YouTube lo-fi hip-hop channel. I was worried I was going to get annoyed with it really quickly, but it's actually alright. And I kind of feel obliged to use it because I keep on getting copyright strikes. which don't bother me per se, but if I get booted off of YouTube, that'd be sad. Wouldn't it? Would that be sad? I think it would. Alright. Now I've got some darker greys to play with. Some kind of message. Okay. Let me just throw up a window here as well, sorry. 1 moment, please. Go here. Oh, hello, Warhammer 0621. I feel like, when did I feel like I saw you recently. Did you subscribe recently or something? If you did, thank you very much. If you didn't, I don't care. I'm not one of these subscribe or die whores. Oh, that sounds like I'm speaking about a very specific person when I say it like that. I'm not. More power to people who make a living doing this, but that's not what I'm doing it for. Anyway, building General Grievous. That's cool. Yeah, man. That's awesome. I haven't done anything on the Star Wars games. Or game, I think there's only one, right? Looks like fun. Oh, you know, I'm going to do a video on painting white. One option. So I just bought a Tau battle, like commander, I think, a battle suit thing. Just a cheap one I found on Troll Trader. I thought I'd do it with that. And you saying that to me, it's just made me realise I probably should have picked up some Stormtroopers. That might have been cooler, a bit different. No, well, we're going to do Stormtroopers another time. Yeah, a couple of days ago. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Warhammer. Mr. Warhammer. As I said, I don't do it like... I'm not obsessively trying to grow my fan base or whatever. That's all a little beyond my commitment level. But it does mean a lot when people do subscribe. So it means you were informed or entertained. Well, that's nice. It's nice to know that you've done that for someone. He says, very presumptuously, maybe he's just subscribed by accident. So do you actually play that game, the Star Wars game, Mr. Warhammer, or are you just collecting the minis? Or are you commission painting? Hey, I am liking where this is looking. In case you're curious, and you might be, the reason I'm dotting all of the... I call them Tech Blisters because they're not the gems, right? They're the ones without the lining, so they're not the gems, so without the frame. I showed this mini to my mate last night, after I'd finished. First set your kids got for you. That's sweet. That's a nice present from the kids. I have no kids, though. But the paints I'm using, these paints here that I'm using right now, are a present from my mum, so that's nice. That's awesome. That's really, yeah, that's lovely and cute and wonderful. Just finish my thought quickly here. I showed this to my friend, the guy who actually bought this for me as a Christmas present because he's a nutter and the best hobby mate in the world. This is the Phoenix Lord from the Shadow Spectres. I showed him the work in progress shot after last night's stream, and then he was like, ooh, they're like nebula. He wrote nebula elves as one word, nebula elves. If I say that, I think you won't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, nebula elves. And I thought, oh yeah, they do kind of look like spacey nebula pictures. So then I thought, well, how do I oomph that a little bit, that sensation of being nebula? And it occurred to me that having star type things going on might look kind of cool. So these guys, more so actually than a lot of other more so, I think so, more so than some other Eldar troop type units, have got like lots and lots of little tech blisters all over them. So I figured if I do those in white, that might give a kind of starry, starfield kind of a sensation to it, and it'll just add a little bit of visual interest. And then I'm thinking of doing some stippling or something on the cloth, because I want to differentiate it from the armour. And then we've got a lot of panel lining coming up as well. Panel lining and edge highlighting. It's a big job. These are going to take a while, but I want to do a good job on them. So I was kind of hoping I'd get them done before the new year, because I have to start painting for other people in the new year again, but yeah, it can be an evening project, personal project, eh? So yes, daughter wanting to play Star Wars with you is amongst the coolest and sweetest things I've heard today, maybe even all week, maybe ever. It must be very cool to be a hobby dad and people actually, like your kids actually, your kids actually get into it with you. That's awesome. A little bit of parent-child time. Neither of my parents were into Warhammer or anything like that. Oh, you are not getting a happy shot there, sorry. I try and keep it as unblurred as possible. Neither of my parents were hobbyists, but you know, we did stuff together. I say hobbyists, you know what I mean? Warhammer or anything like that. And it's nice. Happy memories. It's Warhammer magic. Oh, my game won't hurt. It'll hurt something. Your wallet. But yeah, that's lovely. I've never got into Magic the Gathering. I'm not a massive cards person. I'll be real up front here, I'm not like massively into the game of Warhammer even. I like it. It's fun, and it's a great thing to do with like a hobby buddy of a day. Have a few drinks. It's just a nice kind of thing to keep busy. It's like playing board games, but infinitely cooler. But yeah, card games kind of skipped me by. I had some friends when I was a kid who just played Magic, but never quite got there. Too much thinking, I'll be honest with you. I think that's my problem with Magic the Gathering. It seems like there's a lot of thinking going in, like building the decks and working out how the cards work together and all that kind of stuff. Very intense. So I guess your daughter will be alright, because she's starting, I'm assuming, young-ish, younger than us. Hopefully her brain is still plastic enough to fill with Magic the Gathering rules. Oh, wow. Okay, that'll be interesting. Crossover with Warhammer into Magic the Gathering. So is that... I wonder if that'll be an AOS thing. Is that like a crossover, like they're making a version of Magic the Gathering for Warhammer? Or is that like a crossover like the AOS universe, as I say, I assume, is like penetrating into the Gathering universe? I wonder. Anyway, that does sound very cool. It kind of almost feels inevitable now that you've said it. Yeah, it makes sense that they'd want to do that. basically the two big giants, aren't they? The miniature game and card game. I'll be honest, I'm liking the way this is looking. What does it look like on camera? Can't really tell, can you? It's a bit too delicate. It doesn't really show up. We need to push the highlights a little. That's awesome. Needed that water. Sweet, I've been doing so much batch painting recently. I've been painting these big projects for other people. Horde army. That I kind of feel like I don't remember how to do small batches like this. But you know what? That's because I'm trying to think, well, how can I do this efficiently? But I don't have to worry about efficiency. This is a personal project, Craig. Just enjoy it. Those lower ones are a little too dark. Building and paintings, that's back on the Warhammer front, right? Nice. Yeah. If you don't mind me asking, and feel free not to answer this, because kids' privacy seems important, but then I'd have no idea who you are, so it doesn't really matter. But how old is your daughter? Hello, Science Pie. Nice to see you again. Thank you for joining. I'm only asking because I'm wondering if your daughter, Warhammer, is old enough to be using knives and that kind of thing. She said she's getting into the building and what have you, or if this is a very much supervised by dad kind of a thing. Yeah, and Science Pie, welcome to the chat, to the hangout today. Still working on these bad boys. Did about 3 hours, although probably only about 2 hours of that was painting yesterday. And the rest was chatting rubbish with cool people. Thanks, mate. That means a lot, genuinely. The idea, as I was saying, 14. Oh, okay. Yeah, nah, she's all right. Let her rip. She's gonna be. I'm gonna say this. I don't mean to upset you, but she's probably gonna be better than you in a bit. Let's be honest. That's what it's like with kids. You introduce them to something and then go back 6 months later. You're like, what? How did you get so good? Plastic brains. Even at 14, still very plastic. Yeah. Thanks, Science Pie, for the compliment. As I was just saying to Mr. Warhammer 0621, my friend who bought this guy for me, it's a present from him, that's the genesis of this whole project. I showed them where I'd gotten to at the end of last night. I sent him a picture and he was like, oh nice, nebula elves, and I thought, yes, that is something that I hadn't seen that I love. So what I'm trying to do, it reads a little better in person, but they do need to come up a bit, is add these little white dots wherever there's a little tech blister, to kind of give a Starfield kind of feel. Push on that nebula sensation. Aww. Oh, you guys, you're making me feel all broody, I guess. It's lovely. Sitting there doing some Warhammers with your little uns. Or your not so little uns. 14's not very little, is it? Also, love that your kid is into Black Legion, by the way. Are you, was that a proud moment for a Chaos father when you got into Black Legion, or was that terrified that you had introduced your son to Warhammer and he'd fall into the dark arts immediately? Eldest kid, you said kid, not son, sorry. I just assumed son. Bad form, Craig, bad form. Yeah, absolutely agree with you, Warhammer. On getting off the phones and stretching the brains a little. I mean, you know, I'm not like... I don't want to be an old man about phones. I use my phone a lot. But, you know, this is... Your kids' generation is the first generation to really grow up with phones. I only got my first phone when I was like, I don't know, still relatively young, but still not like a kid. And, you know, it's one of those things that's kind of a big psychological experiment that no one really agreed to or realised we were getting into. Putting the brakes on it a little bit sometimes. Not a bad idea. One suspects, although what the hell do I know? I just paint toys on YouTube. Let's sing along to songs I don't know. Alright. I want to change my position here because I'm afraid I also need a good view. It's not just you guys. I need a good view. Let's see if we can find something that's mutually beneficial. That's a little bit more of my natural painting position, I think. Hello, Mr. Mayo. Hey, yeah, man. You know what? I mean, I'm going to be... you know what I'm thinking, Mr. Mayo? Is when the new Eldar stuff comes out, because I'm such a massive Eldar fan, although it'll probably not be great for viewership and all that kind of stuff, but I might have gone quiet because I put the thing up there, sorry. I'm thinking of making a video painting all the new Eldar releases, so one video for each release, or like model type. Maybe, I don't know, I mean that could be quite boring. I mean maybe live streaming is better, because I play it all the way, so it'll just be like, here's how you paint black again, 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 and then we'll hit characters like Avatar and it might get a bit more interesting. I have to work out how I want to do him. I've got some ideas, but we'll see. Or her, I've heard that it could be a lady Avatar. Anyway, we'll definitely be painting, at least on live streams, maybe as like full videos, depending on whether I think there's something interesting to talk about with the model. So yeah, it'll happen, my friend, it'll happen. You can bet on it, unless something serious changes in my life or something, I don't know. That's where I recognised your name from, Science Pie. You are a mod on our Eldar, right? I knew I'd recognise that name. I was like, do I recognise that name because you were in the chat the other day, or do I recognise that name from somewhere else? And now you've reminded me. I will. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a great sub. I don't know, well, in my experience anyway. I don't, but I hear people talk about like, oh, how toxic Reddit can be and all that kind of stuff, and I don't really encounter it. So I don't know if that's because you moddy people are doing such a good job, or I just happen to be on very friendly subs. Who knows? But generally, yeah, my experience. We're a little bit moany, the Eldar community has been, hasn't it, for a while, because we've not got any nice new toys for a long time, and we've got lots of, well, if you're into old stuff, I suppose if you're into Old Hammer, it's fine, but if you like the newer sculpts, it's been a bit depressing. But other than that, I think it's a lovely sub. And if you're in this chat and you are not aware of Reddit or there's Eldar subreddit on Reddit, then do some research. It's cool. It's a cool place to hang out for hobby friends. 10k of Ulthway. Oh my lord. Yeah, nice. 10k. Oh my gosh. I feel like a baby. I'm like looking back there. I mean, I've got a lot now. But I mean, I say a lot. It's not a lot. Not compared to 10k. But we're on the way. We're on the way, especially with these kinds of dudes. And yeah, the custom craft world thing. Yeah, I like Ulthway. Like, I like the lore. I don't have any regrets, like, per se. But there's so much you can do with Eldar. They can be so colourful, or whatever, or not colourful, or the world is your oyster. Kind of like Space Marines in that sense, I think, which you don't get so much with something like Orcs, I think, because they're predominantly that green skin, so your colours always have to work with that, and you know you've got those kinds of restraints. Tyranids, you've got a lot of freedom. Yeah. Anyway, there's part of me that wishes I'd picked a custom craft world thing to do. But then also the nice thing about Eldar is you get these kinds of chappies who, you know, because they're from the shrine and all that kind of stuff, you don't have to paint in your craft world colours, and because it says in the lore, if you're a lore-y kind of person, that, you know, different shrines have different shrines on different craft worlds have, you know, may vary from the standard, as it were. You can do what you want with them. And that's what we're doing. So I shouldn't be sad. I should just paint and be merry. Boo, 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 doo. I don't post links to the live stream in the subreddit, by the way, because it just feels... I don't want anyone to think that I'm self-promoting, basically. Yes, I do commission paint, and yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to lie, there's part of the reason I started the YouTube channel is I thought, oh, you know, maybe some people want some stuff, but it's actually, that's such a stupid business model, as it were, because people who are watching painting tutorials are people who are painting, not people who want armies painted for them, right? So that's not really why I do it, because it's fun. But yeah, I don't want people to think, oh, this guy's just like, he's just trying to get subscribers. So I do the videos, but I'm not put the live streams in there yet. Metallic armor Eldar, nice. Yeah, but then you'd lose him. Well, I mean, unless you split your, you just had like a little. I've done that before. I've done that quite a lot actually, as playlists where I have like a small enclave, or not a small enclave, like the units where I want Elfway kind of stuff in an Elfway, not battalion, but whatever. And then custom craft rolls for stuff where I want the rerolls. But yeah, it kind of annoys me that they do those sub-faction specific characters. Like, I'd love Ghazghul as well, because I've got an Orc army, and it'd be cool to have Ghazghul. Maybe no. Ghazghul you can take in any Orc faction, but Abaddon, whatever you want to call him as well. I'd love to have him on the tabletop sometime, but no, because I play Word Bearers when I play Chaos. So anyway, blathering. missing any? Oh, he's got little ones on his ankles there. I am indeed missing some. Mind you, don't take playing advice from me, because I must be amongst the worst Warhammer players, and I always play with one mate, or did until he moved. So now I don't have anyone to play with, actually. But I'm pretty sure we got a lot of rules wrong. Yeah, if you know anyone who's looking for hobby friends in South London, let me know. Cool. So now we have a look at them at arm's length. We decide, is this worth it? Does it look good? Is it achieving what we think it will achieve? And I think the answer is yes, generally. I like it. We shall continue. Still got the colour wheel up from yesterday. I might should leave that on all of my streams, because I don't have a physical copy. It's kind of a handy thing to have around, I think. Have on hand, a little colour wheel. Help you make some informed decisions. When you're doing your painties. All right. Right, yeah. I mean, I've played with my, I'm just responding to Science Pie here, comment about not having played with the orcs, but yeah, I've played one, maybe two, I think one game with my Wordbearers force, because I started them in 9th and they're still on that god-awful 8th edition codex, and it's just not really food. I mean, like, I'm not like a competitive player, but it just wasn't fun. I played against my mates Admech. Is that Admech? Yeah. And it was even before they got their codex. They were just like, they were still 8th ed codex Admech. Was it? Yeah, it was, yeah. It was not fun. Anyways, I'm not playing that. That's why you're not playing orcs, because orcs do have a new codex now, but yeah. Just having armies that are only a collection. Although we'll see when the chaos... I mean, that box, when they announced that box, I was like, glory be, this is perfect. This is exactly the kind of box I want. Chaos and orcs. In case you're curious, since this is ostensibly paint and chill, the paints I'm putting on the palette right now are these three here. They're from the Scalecolor Artist range. A little sneaky Christmas present. What I got, this is the red set, which has, I don't know why they're split like this actually, this guy should be over here. It's got these three warm reds and these three cool reds, I mean the magenta into purple side. You can see it right there actually on the thing, on the colour wheel. Yeah, that's it. I'm still kind of playing with them. They seem really nice though, super creamy, great, very fine pigments, very dense. They seem nice and stretchy, so you can pull them out in glazes and that kind of stuff, and they don't split. Yeah, generally happy with them so far. Now, we need to be bold. Actually, I put that purple on there, and I've realised it's probably considerably darker than anything I actually need. Anyway, never mind. Alright, fortune favours the bold. Let's see what happens if we do some stippling on here. Shall I bring him down a little bit? There you go, you can see behind the magic curtain there. That's not great consistency. Yeah. What happened to Necrons? Did they just get, like, first codex bad juju? Like, just immediately surpassed by the codex creep? Because I've heard that quite a lot. Like, people just not playing Necrons armies. Want tinterwebs, I mean. Richer. Is it better? Let's try. Yeah, we've got 7 people. Say hello, people. Get involved. Jump in the chat. What projects are we working on? People that just 7 viewers, I mean. This is what it looks like at the moment. Not great, I'm not gonna lie. Looks a bit sort of, what's the word? I don't know. But this is stippling. I think this is something I'm learning about stippling, I think, is that if you want it to look like anything, you've got to be really patient with it. Pretty labor intensive job. Oh, now I've worked out why I want this purple on my palette here. So I want to pick it up, thin it all the way down, and use that as a glaze over this stuff. It's a weird process, stippling and glazing. I don't know why, but it just adds so much crazy depth. I mean, I say I don't know why. I don't know why, but it's just still kind of impresses me every time. Let's see what happens if we get some of that darker in there. Thank you. Yeah, I was like humming and hawing, and I didn't want to jump into this scheme because I wanted to get it right. I mean, partly not being funny, but because one of the models was a gift, right? So it feels more like I don't know. you want to do it justice, right? But then I was like thinking about it, and I just thought, oh, man, you know, you've just got to paint the bloody thing, Greg. You won't know. So yesterday was all kind of just making it up as I went along stuff. But yeah, I mean, I won't be falsely modest. I'm kind of happy with how it's looking so far. He's got a very funky feeling to him. A little bit of texture on these cloaks will hopefully do something. Cloaks, not cloaks. What are these things? What am I painting right now? It's a streamer? What are you? Hey, I wonder if I could... No, that's going to be weird though, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Do. Yeah. Airbrush, taking the plunge on the airbrush. It's just, I mean, it's also just an efficiency booster as well, right? I think, I would say, no, maybe I'm being a bit extravagant here, but I feel like it's almost worth getting an airbrush just for basing and then full priming. But I know what you mean about, like, with my Chaos, they were all brushwork because it was a bit of a weird situation, but I thought I was going to be going away for work for a long time, like 3 or 4 months. So I thought it was going to be lucrative, so I bought a bunch of plastic and I was going to take it with me, take some paints, and that would be how I killed time, because my for money job involves like working overnight and that kind of stuff. Anyway, and I was going to be far from home, but that got cancelled because of COVID. So I had this like scheme in my head that was brushy kind of stuff, and I should have just gone with the airbrush because I then was at home, but for some reason I kind of started it with the brush, and then to make the transition over to the airbrush felt weird because I thought it's not going to look the same as it is. I don't know, but I did it. So what I would say is, well, Marco Frassoni's take on this, which he said in one of his latest videos, is that as long as your bases are basically the same throughout your army will have coherence, and like in terms of like, and you're keeping the colors and everything, you know, the same. But if it's a technical thing, it's, as Mr. Warhammer says here, that is just, you got to do it. And like, I feel like I've still got so much to learn, both brush and airbrush, but made some good progress on the airbrush stuff. I'm getting better. Yeah, you got to start somewhere, right? This is very intricate. This is going to take me a million years to do on 6 more models. I haven't even... The old Halford spray. Yeah, this is what we're trying on the cloaky fluey bits is this kind of stippling effect to try and give it some texture and kind of push that Starfield vibe. I feel like I might maybe want to go a bit crazy here and have a bash at adding a weird colour to the mix. Have I got a higher quality paint of this colour? There's nothing wrong with this. This is a good paint, but it's a very mixed paint. I get the feeling every time I use it, it's like full of... No, not really. What's the way I can use it? I will use it. It feels like it's made from like 25 different pigments, basically. When you try and mix it with stuff, it kind of goes a bit off the rails, I find. But that's the closest I got to a cyan in acrylics right now. So I think so this is what we're going to use. We're going to try anyway. Waiting on time, 8 o'clock. Streaming for 1 hour. Bam, bam. Let's get nice and watered down. Throw a touch of that in there. Ooh, that wasn't a touch. It was more than a touch, Mr. Russell. Yeah, the reason I like priming with the airbrush is that it means I don't have to go outside. It's probably good that I'm introducing some of this cyan in here because there are bits of the swooshies that are cyan on the back here. I still want a nice colour that I can blend through, I guess. Yes, we're going to say it was a good choice. Let's grab some of this actually. It's quite a warm magenta, this one. Magenta, purple, I don't know. Interesting glaze. Okay, the problem we have is that they are not fading out. Oh, coastal Scotland, good lord, yeah. Nice to have a ventilated space. The first thing I'd buy if I had a ventilated space would be a resin printer. Because I want one. I want a resin printer. But I live in a teeny tiny little flat in South London, and I'm pretty sure everyone in the flat would go nuts if I started stinking us out with the resin. Well, we've heard they've got a lot better, but still. There'd only be basically one space for it, and that would be in this room, which is my office come hobby room come game room come whatever. And I would, let alone everyone else in the house, I would expire, I think, if it was in here with me, because it's tiny. Probably about the size of your utility room, science pie. Maybe smaller. be honest. The joys of big city living. Can't really see, can you? It's not. That's a good angle. There we go. Yeah. Don't hate it. Needs work, I think. Right. I need a break from doing that one. I need to do something else. So the other thing I wanted to try today. Oh Lord, I'm running out of cups because I didn't clean these last night. Oh God, I'm going to regret that. Yes, is some metallics. I've got a feeling we're going to go really. What's the word I'm looking for? Strong contrast on temperature for the metallics. This is obviously quite a cool. This is very shaky, so I'm using my paint mixer. Quite a cool colour scheme, right? Even that pink is, you know, it's not like a warm pink. So it's time to get some real temperature difference in there. I also used a warmer grey for the little spotty things that I did. That I'm doing. None of this is finished yet. But I'll drop a flow improver in there as well. But there's quite a lot, especially on the Exarch and the Phoenix Lord. There is a fair amount of filigree and runes and that sort of thing. And so I think this should really pop. Actually using one of the most expensive miniature paintbrushes to mix paint. That's probably not a good idea, Craig. Never mind. Okay, now steady as she goes. Doing a weird concentration phase. Bit late for me to be getting self-conscious now, isn't it? Copper and purple was never going to be a bad move, was it? Let's be honest. That's going to be sexy. Oh, this is the Vallejo metal color paints. Nice, but I do find the only thing about them is that they're a little bit liquid with the brush. Oh, there he did it, and barely. Darn it! I knew this was going to happen. And the problem with making mistakes with metallic colours is you can clean them up like you clean up any acrylic mistake, i.e. very quickly. But those mica things, particles, ugh, they will live on for all bloody eternity. They're so annoying to get rid of. And because this is all, weird blendy business with, the airbrush. It's a big downside of the airbrush. It's a lot harder to go back and fix stuff. So means you've got to get it right, I find. You can go back and fix it. I'm exaggerating a little bit. Like, I could get some purple paint in there and I could pull it over as a glaze or whatever. In fact, I might just do that. And it usually does a fairly good job of hiding it, as long as you colour match it okay. Okay, let that dry, see what we think. Okay. Yeah. Got that big bloody one on his head. Yeah, the gunmetal blue. Yeah. That is, yeah. I don't think I have that one, but I've used it definitely. I haven't used it, but I've definitely. Oh no, you know what I've got? I've got the this one, the model color acrylic blue, gunmetal blue. Now, these are great if you're talking about these Science Pie, but if you aren't talking about these, you should maybe think of picking up a bottle of them too, because the mica in those is even finer. They're very thin-bodied, as I say, so with a brush they can be a little bit finicky. You've got to be confident with your control, but yeah, they're awesome. What was I thinking? Oh yes, right. So I want you to tell me what I'm going to do with these faces, because I've got an idea. The thing is, right, so here's my conundrum. Is I kind of feel like they should pop a bit more, the faces. And I'm kind of tempted to paint. Let's get a brush so we can point. This is clean, right? Yeah. See you in a bit. Oh, it's going to be Science Pie who's going to answer this question for me. I may ask him when he comes back. Yeah, I want to paint them white, but I don't. It's a tough old choice. What do I do? In the meantime, there are other things we can paint. Don't you have extra filigree maybe somewhere? Oh, on the back here. There's another choice. Oh no, so many choices. Maybe we'll go back to stippling. Oh no, there you go. We've got one. We've got a little rune on his belt here. And with the belt itself, actually. Is a very nice aspect of resin. Resin's got a lot of drawbacks, but the crispness of the details on a resin model are crazy. Right, let's grab some of this and a little bit of this. A little bit more of that. I'm leaving more of it in my paint than, and I don't really want it to red, but I don't have it, so line there, it's still too cold. Let's put more of this in. Maybe I should just get a red eye. Or just a brown, actually. Well, what are we actually going for here? Let's just paint it and see. So, what just happened? I don't know. I've spotted another. Oh yeah, there's loads more things I need to paint bronze or copper. Yeah, that's not. Yeah. Thank you. That is a good idea. It's just something to make them pop, right? But without, because I was conscious when I was airbrushing them of leaving, a highlight coming in from this way, which was an interesting experiment. Normally, I would layer a highlight on over the top of some other work, and this one I was leaving it just to see what it was like. Don't know if it really gained me anything per se, but anyway, they all have that. They more or less. They've got these brighter heads. It's probably the worst example I just picked up. There you go. So I think the faces are there, and when they get edge highlighted and what have you, they'll pop even more. So yeah, just that, and then some glowy eyes. I think you might be right. I think that might be what we want. Just doing this random little. I'm gonna have to move again. Behind the curtain. Maybe if I move my screen up. There we go. Watched. I don't know. Feels unprofessional. It's funny. Professional. Getting this little bit of string in here. Trying to get a sense of what these models look like, if you know what I mean. Which I think is one of those things you have to do when you're painting new models or models for the first time. Yeah, so I've got these little gem cases here. They want to be so tiny. Where is he? That's a good angle for me to see. Now I can show you on the camera as well. Alright. I wonder if I've got... So still looking at him. But you shouldn't glaze light colours. It always ends up going wrong. Alright. Just going to paint that bloody thing on his head. That's the whole reason I'm talking about this. It's not because I want to paint his faces right now. It's because I want to paint this rune on his head in bronze. Again, because I'm trying to sort of see the shape, if you know what I mean, of the whole scheme. Oh no, I did it again. Cool. Alright, let's take stock against the pretty colours. Whoa! Whoa! It is not that bright in the real world. Sorry, I just hit the auto button. No, go back! Go back. Thank you. Oh, what I wanted to do is focus on him down there. There you go. And then pull down the exposure there. So he looks more like what he actually looks like in the real world. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. He still looks way too bright. But anyway. Okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm looking... He's got a shape, right? The model's got a shape. My job as the model painter is to try and clarify that shape. One of my jobs. I'm taking a look at him. And even though I know that he's still very much a work in progress, I'm trying to see what that next bit of work might be. And I'm looking at the bloody camera like I did it all yesterday, and that is stupid because that's just because it's there, and that's what human brains are like, isn't it? Ooh, camera, look at the camera. And I need to look at the model itself. Yeah, so in terms of there's things you do for definition like edge highlighting and stuff, but aside from that, in terms of like things that are not the right colour, I feel like the inside of this jetpack has got to be something. You've got to do something there, even if it's just glazing in darker colour. To give that a bit more structure there. If we're going to do this stippling malarkey, we need to do that everywhere to see if it does balance out. I'm still not 100% sold on it. And this gun has loads of structure. And I want to try and decide what structure gets pulled out and what gets left behind, as it were. So, let's have a look what I mean by that. Here's one I made earlier. This is a Howling Banshee I painted quite a while ago, pretty sloppy. Quite a while ago, and I'm looking at it now and I wish I hadn't picked this one because that is a sloppy job. Anyway, are you going to focus for me? There we go. This, you see, this part is black, this part is white, that kind of structure. Which I find hard on weapons for some reason. Like, I never quite see like what should be, and this is a very complicated weapon as well to be doing it on. Those veins could be something different, but I quite like the way they look right now. I've got this inlaid bit here. That could be something. That could be green. And all of this shenanigans over here as well. Look at all that. This is set back from this. I don't know if edge highlighting is going to cut it, you know. Yeah, I was, when I did my Banshees, I'd done so many like guard and all that kind of stuff that I was like, no, I'm going to reverse the colour scheme. So that's why I did it. But yeah, black Banshees are cool. Oh, thank you. They look all right. But But I like the scheme on them. I'm just not a big fan of the finish. I could now do a better job than I did when I painted those, that's for sure. But so it goes. All that means is improvements are happening. That's nice. How do I make you not utterly crap? iPhone. What time is it? 8:15. Okay. I have to step away from the computer for a moment. Get a refill of what I'm drinking, which is just water tonight. Not being naughty yet. So let me set up a little thing here. That'll be fun, won't it? Hell, he's back. Terrible timing, mate. I'm about to go. No, I'm not leaving. I just need to, well, frankly, to be domestic about it, I need to go find out what we're doing about dinner in the Russell household tonight. It's a good angle. It's a cool angle, man. I don't know. Anyway, I'll leave it like that. So let me throw up my be right back message, and I will be right back. Alright. I am the disembodied voice of GRG Miniatures. There's my face. I'm not so disembodied now. I think I saw a message, yes. Some word bearers. Alright, let's have a look at some word bearers quickly. Glasses down there. What's a good word bearer to show? This whole shelf. It's fairly representative. Very chilled out. Okay, Mr. Science Pie. Let's have a small selection of word bearers. Put my glasses back on. I can see without them, but I'll get a headache. Ooh, there we go. Oh, you're having a big old look at a not very representative model there. So, for example, we've got... I'm going to have to put this down. Let's put it down here. Lift this up a little bit. You can see what a state my desk is still in. Keep on saying that. Tomorrow is the cleaning day for the office. Alright. So, got a light down here. There's a good angle for you. Oh, that's a nice angle. There we go. This is the Venom Crawler. So much fun doing the Uhu glue. If you don't know that trick, let me know. I'll do a video about it. It'll take about 30 seconds. You can probably find someone else doing an equally good job, but they'll do it for 10 minutes. But yeah, Uhu glue slime in the mouth there and stuff. That was a lot of fun to paint, of course. This is the guy I always show him when I show off these word bearers because I'm proud of him. I like him. Although I do want to go back and do some more work on him. But I'm really happy with the look on this dude. That's the Greater Possessed, right? Here's some nice gory innards and then bubblegum. It's bubblegum. It's my bubblegum possessed. Scary skeleton. What else can I show you? Here's, and now for something completely different. Word bearer, but in pre-heresy armor. This is, in fact, another present from my world's best hobby buddy who got me the Phoenix Lord Irilith. So this was another one where I thought, no, okay, I better spend some time on that and I better do something interesting and different with him. So he got armor and a big backstory that I wrote out and why he's wearing pre-heresy armor and all that kind of stuff. Did a mini swap. What did I pay? I think I just paid him for him. Same mate. He bought the Blackstone Fortress box and I didn't. So he didn't need the Chaos models. These were some early oil experiments for me, actually. Trying oils like to, not just for washes and stuff, but to, like, so all of their heads, basically, all of that shading and all of that, that's all oils. The cloaks are all oils. Basically, more or less all of it. The metallics are acrylic metallics, but then with oil weathering over the top. Yeah, I'm happy how these guys turned out. I need to do some decent photos of these, because maybe do a little bit of cleaning up on them and take some good photos, because I feel like there's some interesting shading and stuff going on in those heads, those big ugly bulbous heads, and of course some nice fluorescent stuff for the eyes. And here's another thing what I done is I did. So this looks like an absolute mess. I mean, it looks like a mess in real life. I'm not a particularly phenomenal kit basher by any stretch of the imagination, but I had a lot of fun making some regular Possessed. So, because I feel like everyone knows the Possessed minis are not pretty, the current GW ones. So I just took some Chaos Space Marines and then absolutely destroyed them with just weirdness. Some really tiddly work on the kind of scrolls and stuff. Got some custom bits as well from Liebe Monica, a really good bits maker if you're a Space Marine player. This is a really gooey, gross guy that I made. Sort of continuing the theme that the warp is kind of psychedelic colours, bubblegum and, pinks and greens and purples and all that kind of stuff. Anything else here worth looking at? Yeah, that's about it really. It won't be much of a muchness. I quite like this guy. He's got a pretty grim visage, not really visage, but chest. Gross. Dude, totally gross. Oh my god. My big regret with these guys is not pushing the contrast on the red armour. That Terminator at the front is approaching maybe somewhere towards some good contrast, but you can go so much further. And maybe one day I will. But red is kind of notoriously annoying as well, isn't it? So, no worries. Thank you for being interested. I've got loads more of them, but we should probably paint what we're here to paint. It's fun just looking at models, especially old ones, I think. It's like, oh, okay, that's the mistake I made there. Oh, I am back. I should take that away. There you go. Yeah. Things we've learned, mistakes we're still making. That's a common one. That's an annoyingly common one. Right. Okay, I've been away from you for 5 minutes, mister. What have you done in the meantime? Nothing. Well, darn it. You haven't been painting yourself. How very dare you. Brush. Oh, I want a little cup. Whoa. There we go. Auto kitbash, Scourges and Shadow Spectre Exarch. Ah, yeah, the Shadow Spectre Exarch. So, and the Scourges, they DE, they our Drukhari friends. Let me have a quick look. Scourges. No, why am I trying to put Scourges into? Yeah, cheers, buddy. I'm assuming boost is Scottish for go. That's not heard that one. But thanks for hanging out and thanks for chatting, man. It means a lot. Nice to have buddies. Oh, yes, the Scourges are the ones with the wings now, I remember. Enjoy the rest of your night, mate. Mr. Science Pie. Going back to AIBTE's thing, I can definitely see that being very cool. So where's the Exarch? It's the guy I've been painting this whole time. So it's him, right? And it would be, I guess, Shadow Spectre, Exarch, Scourge. So what, like, the Shadow Spectres, this guy's lower half, and then the Scourge's upper half, I guess. Right? Maybe? Ah, cheers, Mr. Warhammer. Yes. Thank you. It's been a pleasure having you about. Yeah, I think IBT, that is a very cool sounding kitbash. With these guys, you for the waist, in case you're curious, the way that this comes is quite easy for kitbashing. It's like the legs and the rock, and then the torso, the arms are separate, the head is separate, and some of the wishy bits of cloth are separate. Not all of them, but like the ones coming out the arms, and two that come out the base here, and the other ones on this arm, and that's it. So I think Exarch's body, everything else from the Scourge. Okay, so you're just using his body, yeah. Okay, yeah. But again, same difference. I don't know about the Scourges. Don't have any Drukhari at all. But the this guy's, yeah, his head is separate, his arms are separate, his body is one piece. So it should be, assuming that the Scourges also have like separate legs with like that ball joint that GW often does for bodies and legs. Don't be too bad. But what do I know? I'm not much of a kitbasher, as I say. Right, still looking at this stippling on the thing. Still being unsure about whether I like it or not. Let's try pushing it a little bit further. That's frequently. What's the matter? Well, you're kind of just seeing not much of anything, are you? Is there room for my head there? The lamp is warm. This paint is dry. Oh, they're not ball joint on the scourges. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that's going to be a pain then. You got a Dremel? You got a power tool? Drill them out? I mean, you could do it by hand as well, of course, but power tool just make it faster. And more dangerous. Yeah. Where there's a will, there's a way. You will definitely figure it out. And I say this not just to be nice, but because I genuinely believe it. I think it'll turn out good. Oh, you've been getting a gloriously beautiful shot of Sweet FA. Sorry about that. think I need to be bolder with these Starfield type effect in the swooshies. Because I think if I push to some even brighter colours, that could look pretty cool actually. Keeping it relatively subtle, but right, let's just do something completely different for a second, so I don't go mad with stippling. Is that supposed to be like, it looks like a crystal, doesn't it? It's going to be green anyway. Whatever the hell it is. Hello, cardboard cutter. Sorry if I missed you coming in there. How are you doing today? I feel like I haven't met you before. I mean, like you haven't been in one of the streams before. If that's the case, thank you for joining. Or I mean, I don't know if that's the case. Thank you for joining anyway, under all circumstances. And apologies if you have been in before and I have not remembered. Anyway, how are you, Mr. Cardboard Cutter? Mr., Mrs., Ms.? The YouTube analytics tells me that the chances of you being a lady are very small, which is a shame. Oh, welcome. Yeah, that gives him a little bit of a zingy focal point down there, doesn't it? Cool. I need to do something with this gem on this arm here. Oh, I've got a rules question about these guys, if anyone knows. I read in their lore, there's loads of talk of the Exarch giving them the ability to basically focus fire like a fire prism. But when I looked them up on a rules website that shall remain nameless, ridiculously unnecessarily coy, and I looked them up on Wahapedia, I couldn't see anything of the sort. So does that mean that's an old rule that they no longer have? Or am I missing something? And they can indeed still focus fire. I'd like to know. If you know, send answers on a postcard too. No, let me know in chat. Sorry if I'm off screen, I'm just doing something very fiddly. Not convinced, but okay. Well. Oh, yeah, but I mean, I'm talking like, it wouldn't be Azerman with these guys, would it? Like, I mean, Azerman gives all sorts of buffs anyway, right? But, no, with specifically this Exarch, this guy here, of the, whatever these guys are called, gave them some kind of, like, focus fire style ability. I don't know what I'm doing with this gem. It looks a bloody mess. Or crystal, rather. This is no gem, is it? These are not really for gaming purposes anyway. Well, I mean, I'll use them in a game, but it's not why I have them. So even if they're rubbish on the tabletop, it's not the end of the world. But if they've got a little special focus fire shenanigan, I would like to know about it. You're not doing a good job of being on screen. Yeah, no, thanks man. I was just in case anyone did know. Alright, so it could look worse. Okay, well, we had a little break from Stippling, but I think we're back on the Stippling train. Hey, Agu, how are you today, sir? At work? I guess. Where did I see your thing? Chile, was it? I saw a flag somewhere that was related to you. At the subway. Is that like, you mean the subway like the place where you can buy sandwiches, or where trains are? I don't even know if they have the subway sandwich shop where you are. Why have I got green on my brush? What did I want to paint? I don't know. Take it off my brush. Ah, yeah, that's something we want to do. Right, make a choice. I think we're going to do... actually, these back ends, I've got a little knob here. We'll make those grey. Into white. The train, yeah. I figured that's what you meant. Does that mean you're headed into work or something? Oh, on the way home. Nice. I don't know what time it is where you are, in case you couldn't tell. And I'm off screen. Oh, let me pull this back in and I can paint comfortably. I was on your Instagram account, that's where I saw a little flag. But I can't remember what it was. I just remember thinking, that's a South American flag, isn't it? But I could be wrong about that too. Thank you. It's going all right. This guy. I'm still feeling pretty good about about him. Although I'm not feeling good about doing this on every other one of these because I've got six more. 7 total, 3, 6. Yeah, 6 more of these little suckers to paint, and I've chosen some rather laborious options. But you know what? That's part of the fun, isn't it? Am I painting the wrong? Oh yeah, I totally am painting my highlight literally the wrong way. Oh no! Are you away from all your painty stuff? I know that feeling exactly. I was at my parents' over Christmas, and it got to the point where I was like, I kind of just want to go home just to paint, which is terrible. that's like addiction level if you are looking to leave loved ones just to fulfill you. Oh, my voice is low. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if I can. I should just talk up a little bit. I'm being quieter today because I don't know, feeling more chill. And also my man is in the house, so but I will endeavour to speak up. Where are you, by the way? AIBTE. Are you in the UK? Or are you further afield? Spain. Cool. There's a lot of good Spanish painters out there, that's for sure. Ah, yeah. Makes sense. Okay, how's he looking? Okay, gun's looking a bit more interesting. I'm still kind of staying away from stippling even though I need to do it. Waiting on time. Been in for about 2 hours. I'm mumbling again, sorry. And what I'm saying is not important, so if you can't hear me, don't worry about it. I'm just sort of talking to myself about what I'm doing. now is thinning out some paint to fill in that may be a little too thin. Okay. Just adding some definition into the engines there. And I'm getting like notifications of follows. That's distracting me. Not that I'm complaining. Oh, that's good. Yeah. I've got a mic. I've got a decent mic. But I have two problems, which is why I end up using my phone. Which is also what I shoot this thing on, if you're curious. It's a bit of a janky setup because I don't have any money to spend on nice cameras. But, yeah, two problems with my microphone. One, the thing I use as a mic stand is also the thing I use as the phone stand, so I'd have to get something else. And two, for some reason the streaming software won't recognize the mic. I can't work out why. But if I solve those two problems, then I'll have a decent mic that will be independent from the camera. Then maybe we can do ASMR painting. I'm going to do ASMR painting, don't worry. I don't get that trend. That's not my idea of fun, I'll be honest. I've been filling in these bits in case it's not been clear what I've been doing. All these little like Tech Blisters born. Just trying to get them cat hair. No work in progress pics on Instagram. To get a decent photo is a bit of a pain in the backside, but I'll try and just get a good snap with my iPhone, and then on my Instagram account, because I use that as a portfolio for commission painting, I don't usually put work in progress on there, but I will throw it into the into my story when the stream is done today. How's that? And you should be able to see it there. But yeah, I know what you mean. I looked over the stream last night because I wanted to add some timestamps for people who watched it after because it's so long. And the image quality is not the best, I'm afraid. One day I'll be fabulously wealthy and I'll be able to afford all that posh camera stuff that people get. I checked because I was curious. This is the only thing I use cameras for is taking photos of miniatures and that. And like even for a relatively low but good camera, it's so bloody expensive. It's so expensive, and if you're trying to get an upgrade to your, you don't want to get like the crappiest camera. You want to get something that's relatively good. That's a little bit beyond what I can afford to spend on. Like, it's not even spending on my hobby, right? It's spending on the hobby within my hobby. I'm looking at the camera again, not with my eyes. These bits of cloth, they are causing me heartache. Yeah, that's an improvement already. So, the sort of silly thing about this cloth is that I specifically left it. I want to do something that means I don't have to repaint it. Basically, that I can rely on the airbrush work that's already there to as the core of the paint work on that. But now I'm doing a very time-consuming shading thing on it to try and give it differentiation from the rest of the model. So, the best laid plans. Right, it is 9 o'clock. We've been streaming for 2 hours and 10 minutes. 9 o'clock in the UK anyway. Oops, sorry. I think we may be approaching the end of the stream for today. Slightly shorter one. Because I still need to cook. It's 9 PM. I still need to eat. So we'll finish with the best I can do right now in terms of shots. It's gonna get a little crazy in a minute, guys. Hang on. Turn the light. Yeah, that's been on good. Turn that off. Turn this off. Where is he? There he is. Come on. So there we go. All right. Look at me all underlit. Well, if I can do this. Means you get a kind of weird band of light. Do it better or worse? There he is so far. Looking sparkly. Cool. Okay, I think that's it, my dudes. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for hanging out. And I'll see you next time.